Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to take a look at something I've actually printed quite a long time ago, about 2 months now actually. This is my take on a Missing Link Rodimus Prime that's meant to scale with the upcoming Legacy G1 Universe Optimus Prime and not sort of be a one-to-one scale of the original G1 toy. I decided not to do anything to the trailer because the trailer to me is perfect. It is a battle platform, it does what it does, and there's nothing more I could do to change it or upgrade it. I'll bring in my old Rodimus Prime. Please forgive the nasty stickers. I did just sort of try and re-label them on Photoshop a few years ago. A good few years ago actually, when I first got him. But as you can see, and as I mentioned before, these are not one-to-one scale. This Rodimus Prime is a deluxe sized Rodimus Prime, aiming just to take the look of the G1 toy, but add articulation and sort of make it scale again to the legacy one. I tried to mimic that head sculpt one-to-one. I'm pretty happy with that. With it being Missing Link, let's see where I added the articulation. So while the G1 head was embedded into the chest piece, I sort of took up the challenge and added a peg into this yellow piece. So he has a neck swivel like that. And then he's got some up and down movement as well, because that orange piece, as you can see, there's a hinge in there. So he looks up and looks down and looks all the way in for transformation as well. His arms can rotate, move out of the way, and then moves up a whole lot, bring it back down, shift it back in place. He's got some butterfly joints like that if you need be. Then he's got bicep rotation, 90-degree bend at the elbow, and if it weren't for these pipes as well, he would have full rotation at the wrists, but the pipes being there do limit the rotation of the fists. He does have waist articulation. I would have wanted to add the ab crunch. That would have either obstructed the sculpt of the chest piece, or I would have had to extend his torso upwards to allow for the hinge. So I just decided not to give him an ab crunch. His crotch piece moves up like that, and he kicks up a good 90 degrees. He's got rotation at the thighs. He kicks out all the way as well, but he doesn't kick back. This is a 3D printed toy, of course, so do expect to see some roughness. If I had sort of more resources and sort of nicer color resin as well, I would have printed this in resin. But FDM so far is the best choice for printing material for me now, because I did see some nasty layer lines here, so I just decided to mention it now. He's got 90 degrees at the knee, his wheels do rotate a bit, and of course he has his ankle tilt, a good ankle tilt, and then his feet, due to transformation, do bend like that. But it also comes in really handy when I want to pose him. Those heels falling down do provide a lot of stability to the figure. Now size wise, here he is next to a modern deluxe, and as mentioned before, he's meant to scale with Optimus Prime. That's coming out next month, or like in a few weeks. So hopefully Optimus is a lot taller than this Bumblebee. I'd hope for him to be like this tall at least, so he's more or less at eye height with Rodimus Prime. I just wanted him to do that handshaking pose. But let's move Bumblebee off to the side or away. I tried to keep as close to the original as possible about the transformation, but there's a few things that I decided not to take the cues from the original figure, and the first thing is the sliders in the arms. As some of you might know, I'm not too big of a fan of including sliders in my 3D designed toys, because when they rub against each other, no matter how hard or tight or nice feeling I make the connection at first, the more you slide it back and forth, it's going to loosen the connection and it's not going to feel nice overall. So what I did was I put the sort of universal joint in the shoulder. As you can see, one's compressed and one's out. This hinge sort of just does the same job as the slider, so I'm pretty happy I engineered that into the toy. So bringing this outwards, I want to detach this yellow fin piece just for ease of showing everything. It is on a 5mm port, like that. So just move that off to the side, and first things first, what we do, it's different from the original toy, is to detach that canopy piece like that. It is on these two pegs that's attached to these two ports. Then what we do is just to come back around and push his head all the way inwards, grab this orange piece and rotate it upwards like that, and then once we're in here, we push this head back like that, and we close that canopy piece back up like that, and it snaps really satisfyingly back into place. straighten his arms like so, and as mentioned before, use that sort of quote-unquote slider joint and press that arm into the body, and do the same with the other side as well. And last but not least, straighten the legs and fold the toes downwards like so. Peg this spoiler piece onto the top of the car, and there you have just the stock robot mode of the Missing Link Rodimus Prime. Now there's a surprise for me as well when I was designing this toy. This trailer was not present, so just about 15 minutes ago was the first time I tried to see if this Missing Link Rodimus Prime was compatible with this trailer, and let's see. The wheels I've engineered to sort of be at the same level as the black piece. This crotch piece is designed to be a few millimeters higher than the wheels so it doesn't drag along the floor when you roll it. Let's see now. The legs go in very, very nicely, and then the spoiler, let's see, you might have to do some fitting, but continue pushing it in, and these line up very, very nicely. Like, look at that. That is just a smaller Rodimus Prime in the G1 trailer, and I think proportionally he looks really, really nice, and doesn't really look out of place. The spoiler doesn't go all the way inwards like that because it's a smaller toy, of course, but the fact that these things are compatible, I'm very, very happy about. And there you have two weirdly laying down Rodimus Primes in their alt modes, and you can see where the inspiration's coming from with this newer Missing Link Rodimus Prime. One of the top differences are you've got 5mm pegs, and why I did that was I planned to make a shield that sort of attaches to the back of Rodimus Prime, and that would house that, so you have a more complete looking Rodimus Prime, sort of like the Kingdom version, I guess. For size comparison, again, here is the original G1 Rodimus Prime, moving him to the back. Here's Retro Series Hot Rod, and there we have Missing Link Rodimus Prime back in his robot mode. I really like the compatibility with the trailer here. He is shorter, so you don't have to extend this cannon piece. You can still put Rodimus Prime onto the battle platform, and he still looks amazing manning it. So that's it for my video showcase of my 3D printed Missing Link Rodimus Prime. I'd really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. Check out my other videos as well. There's a Missing Link Ultra Magnus that's meant to pair with the upcoming G1 Legacy Optimus Prime. Take a look at that if you haven't. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and goodbye.